Saddam Hussein was born in 1937 in the poor village of Al-Auja, near Tikrit, Iraq. His father vanished before his birth, and he was raised by his mother until he moved to Baghdad to live with his uncle, Khairallah Talfa. Talfa, a passionate Arab nationalist, introduced Saddam to politics and the dream of a united Arab world, shaping his worldview. In Baghdad, Saddam joined the Ba'ath Party in 1957, drawn by its vision of Arab nationalism and independence from Western influence. At just 22, Saddam participated in a failed assassination attempt on Prime Minister Qasim, was wounded, and fled Iraq. Exile in Syria and Egypt only deepened his commitment to the Ba'ath cause as he continued plotting his return. The failed plot became part of his legend, painting him as a daring revolutionary, willing to risk everything for his beliefs. These early years forged Saddam's ruthless ambition and set the stage for his rise as a determined, power-hungry leader. His story would later be used in propaganda, portraying him as a lifelong fighter for Iraq and Arab unity. Poverty, ideology, and a thirst for power defined his formative years. Saddam's journey from hardship to political activism was just beginning. Saddam returned to Iraq after the Ba'ath Party's brief 1963 takeover, but was soon imprisoned and later escaped. He played a key role in the 1968 coup that restored Ba'athist rule, becoming deputy to President al-Bakr. From behind the scenes, Saddam built a vast security apparatus, eliminating rivals and instilling fear. He used Iraq's oil wealth to modernize the country, building roads, schools, and hospitals, while tightening his grip on power. In 1979, Saddam forced al-Bakr to resign and became president, immediately purging the party of potential threats in a televised spectacle. He cultivated a cult of personality, with his image omnipresent and the media portraying him as Iraq's savior. Dissent was crushed and loyalty was demanded. For over 2 decades, Saddam ruled Iraq with absolute authority, blending modernization with brutal repression. His rise was marked by calculated violence and relentless ambition. Across the Arab world, Saddam was seen by many as a defiant hero, openly challenging Western dominance. His anti-imperialist rhetoric and resistance to US influence resonated with those frustrated by foreign intervention. During the Iran-Iraq War, he positioned himself as the Arab world's defender, earning support from Gulf states. Even after the Gulf War and defeat, his missile attacks on Israel and defiance of sanctions bolstered his image as a symbol of resistance. Propaganda painted him as enduring hardship alongside his people standing firm against the West. For many, Saddam became a martyr-like figure of Arab pride and defiance. Saddam's vocal support for the Palestinian cause made him a hero to many Arabs. He provided jobs, education, and housing to Palestinian refugees in Iraq, earning their loyalty. His government paid families of Palestinians killed in conflict with Israel, including suicide bombers, a move condemned in the West but praised by some in the region. The 1991 Gulf War saw Saddam launch Scud missiles at Israel, a dramatic gesture that electrified Arab public opinion. This act overshadowed his invasion of Kuwait for many supporters, cementing his image as the only Arab leader to strike Israel directly. However, his alliance with the PLO backfired, leading to Palestinian suffering after Iraq's defeat. Saddam's pro-Palestinian stance was both a source of admiration and a cause of new crises. Saddam's rule was defined by 2 catastrophic wars, the Iran-Iraq War and the invasion of Kuwait. The Iran-Iraq War, launched in 1980, dragged on for 8 years, leaving over 1 million dead and both nations devastated. Saddam received support from the US and Gulf states, who feared Iran more than his regime. The war ended in stalemate, but Iraq was left bankrupt and weakened. In 1990, Saddam invaded Kuwait, accusing it of economic sabotage. The world responded with Operation Desert Storm, swiftly defeating Iraq and liberating Kuwait. The defeat shattered Saddam's image as a pan-Arab defender and led to crippling UN sanctions. Iraq's economy collapsed, and its people suffered under isolation and hardship. Saddam's wars left a legacy of destruction and regional instability. For most Iraqis, Saddam's rule meant fear and brutality. His regime relied on secret police, torture, and executions to silence dissent. The Untold campaign against the Kurds included mass killings and the chemical attack on Halabja, killing thousands. Shia uprisings were crushed with overwhelming force, and the southern marshes were destroyed to punish rebels. Even Saddam's family was not safe. He executed relatives who betrayed him. Survival under his rule meant absolute loyalty or living in terror. Saddam's legacy for Iraqis is one of cruelty, repression, and loss. His modernization efforts were overshadowed by his violence. After 9/11, the US accused Saddam of possessing weapons of mass destruction and ties to terrorism. In 2003, a US-led coalition invaded Iraq. Saddam's regime collapsed within weeks. Saddam went into hiding, but was captured near Tikrit in December 2003, ending his decades-long rule. His sons were killed, and he was put on trial for crimes against humanity. Saddam remained defiant in court, but was found guilty for the Dujail massacre. On December 30, 2006, he was executed by hanging. The footage of his execution became a symbol of his dramatic fall. Saddam's end was as divisive as his rule. Saddam's legacy remains deeply contested. For Kurds and Shia, he's remembered as a tyrant responsible for mass murder and suffering. Some Sunnis recall his era as one of stability and national pride, compared to the chaos that followed his fall. Across the Arab world, he's still seen by some as a symbol of defiance against foreign intervention. His image as a strong nationalist leader persists, despite the horrors of his regime. Saddam was both a modernizer and a mass murderer, a hero to some and a villain to many. His story is a cautionary tale about the dangers of unchecked power. Saddam's shadow still looms over Iraq and the Middle East, shaping the region's present and future.